Since Richard's never watched it, I'm gonna tell him at the end of it, she decides not to be with any of the guys because she comes to her friend, her dearest friend, and says that her friend calls her out. She says, a lot of times when I'm talking to you, you all of a sudden look off, and she went, "Oh, do you want to know why?" And she said, "Look off with me." And they play with the convention.
The fact that they're having a musical interlude,
and she takes her into the musical interludes, and she says, "When you do that, I'm singing musicals, and you get it." And so at the very end, instead of choosing a boy, she said, "I've done something else," and she's taken music lessons. And she goes, "This is the first song I've written," and here it goes. And right when she goes to play it, the show cuts to black, and that's the end of it. So she's writing musicals about herself.
Wow,
and it's beautiful. Now, did you watch the concert?
Afterwards, I'm surprised. At this point, I'm surprised they don't do that as a stage play.
So she's talked about Rachel
Bloom.
Thank you. I was right there on the tip of my tongue. I couldn't.
Rachel and Rebecca are Jewish names. Bloom and Bunch are flower names. So that's why she changed it up.
It was one of those that I knew I couldn't find.
Her name is Rachel Bloom, and the TV show she plays Rebecca Bunch.
And she started out as a YouTube sensation, writing her own music and
about wanting to fuck Carl Sagan. I think it was,
or Albert Einstein, one of the two. But it was, and then talks about she has a song about tits are just bags of fat. I think that was the name of it, Bags of Fat. And she's very
funny,
cutting and funny. And so they got the attention of the network. Wow, you can write this, and the stuff's catchy. So she gets this show,
and she is an attractive woman, but she is not what you would call television attractive.
No.
She is very
normal,
hippie,
attractive,
very belly, very big-breasted.
But she's cute as she can be.
And she will play that up in the show, like when she's trying to get dressed sexy and stuff, how hard it is to get into her clothes.
I love shows that have real people in them.
This show has a ton of those.
Sure, I love looking at models from time to time on a certain level. Attractive people are attractive, but I don't like it when a show is populated entirely by attractive people.
But it was very smart, too, from the pretty people standpoint. There were a lot of pretty people that had issues with being the pretty people, that no one sees me for more than the pretty person.
They don't pay attention to me because I'm pretty. They pay attention to me because I'm pretty.
It was a very smart show from those.
They have an attractive gay guy, and then they have what you would call a normal gay guy. I mean, they have a boss with a mustache, is just a gay guy. But no, actually, he's not gay. He's bisexual.
Yes, and his song was about being bisexual, and it's hilarious.
Bisexual, yeah.
But the only criticism I have of that entire show is that I think the seasons, instead of being 10 episodes, I really think they would have had a special show if it would have been 6 episodes, where it was because it felt at times like they were stretching it too far. This was even to the point that every season had a different theme song, and it was a different musical theme song, and it was about the psychosis she was dealing with to an extent. It's a very smart show.
But it was only
4 seasons, 13 episodes each.
Oh, they kept it pretty tight in terms of the number of episodes.
Actually, I think it could have been tighter.
But I love that shows that do that. They don't
force
us to watch 22
Netflix,
episodes.
So I think you can. And the last season isn't there yet, but I think you can catch up.
We're doing Sabrina just launched.
Yes,
of that.
Abby was just going shit nuts about that.
Oh my gosh,
shit nuts!
And
I still haven't finished season 1. I've got to go finish those last 4 episodes.
It definitely builds. The last 4 episodes build.
I think we talked about this before. I think where I lost it was that it kind of got into feeling normal.
She is so selfish and continues through, and something's going to happen to her.
And I think from when I read the show, the
girl,
showrunners
you in danger, girl.
The showrunners learned their lessons of. They said we don't want to do fillers. We want every episode to mean something. And I felt like there were 2 or 3 filler episodes in there. I was kind of like, give me. So I need to go finish it, and I will finish it.
I think maybe it was just me, but it was very uncomfortable when they really got into, like, you're marrying the devil.
Yeah, there was some creepiness about that.
For potentially a not legal age female character, she's in high school, so she shouldn't be marrying somebody. And then you're talking about marrying Satan.
Right.
That kind of got a little dark, a little fast.
I got to digress real quick, because on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, who was it you said you had a crush on? Which of the characters did you think was...
all of them, but Paula. I mean, I don't know why, but the mom...
First off, she has a classically trained Broadway voice.
Yeah, and the singing that she did in the live episode.
Yeah, Rachel Bloom saw her and she was like, okay, got to cast her. She just has this glorious voice. Well, the one that... And it's not because she's pretty and teeny tiny, but Valencia, with that big jackass nose. And you know me when it has big noses on women. Girls. And if I've never said this to you before, I like when someone is pretty. It's Sarah Bareilles. who happened to work with my favorite producer in the whole world on her new album, and I was kind of like, okay, I kind of like her, but she has a big nose, and you look, like, she's not classically beautiful. There's something wrong from that classic, and that attracts me when something's wrong.
Yeah, Valencia, when it started, I hated her character, and I ended up loving her at the end.
Yeah, there was no one that I didn't love.
Yeah.
Now, on to the story. I'm trying to hit through everything.
Where are we getting to finally?
We are tumbling through pop culture. Richard's not gotten to see it. Shazam.
So fun.
We loved it. Sean loved it. I loved it. You're gonna love it.
I just have to find time. It wasn't on my priority list to go see. Everybody's telling me amazing things since it just released this week. So I'm looking forward to going see it. I just don't know when to go. I mean, we go to movies on Sundays.
Yeah. I'm hoping as soon as we're done here, I'm going to go home and the girls are going to be ready to go to see the movie.
We go on Sundays. So we don't go Friday, Saturday.
The thing that so many films, the tonality of them, when we talk about Escape from the Apes, heavy. where it it's shifting its tonality and those things work, and as a whole, does it work? This film doesn't scoff from the lore that makes the story work. It doesn't scoff from the sadness of a foster situation. It doesn't scoff from any of that. It knows exactly where it wants to go. It's a really well-made family film. If you take out the capes and the superpowers, it's still a beautifully made family film.
Care of itself.
Who wrote and directed this? Do we know
the guy that made Lights Out? And I forget his name. Which, if you didn't see Lights Out, that's one of the. You want to talk about a disturbing horror film? Well, it's a scary movie, but the end of it's disturbing. But it fits really well.
The Lights Out was based off a little short that somebody made too. Yeah.
Well,
I think he may have actually made it.
How did he get the gig to do Shazam? That seems kind of random.
I thought the same thing, but I don't know. But he did a Lights Out job on Shazam. Lastly,
so Wonder Woman did well. Mm-hmm. They've got a 2 coming out. Aquaman did okay, but I didn't see it. Did you see Aquaman?
I did, and I thought it was a mess. He's great. The movie was a mess. You want to talk about tonality?
My Netflix fans that are watching now on rental are telling me that it's not very good.
The director is
okay. People who came from the theater liked
yes.
it. So is this something? Will Shazam and Wonder Woman help the DC franchise?
Yes.
Without question.
Shazam is something they can build a little bit off of, or at least make people want to go see their movies more.
Let me put it to you this way: if they do another Justice League movie, Shazam has to be part of it, and I can see all the wonderful interactions that they could have of being crushing on Wonder Woman, impressed by Superman, intimidated by Batman, maybe dude broing it with Aquaman, all that kind of stuff. Trying to run as fast as the Flash. Let's see who can win.
Well, then you get the Flash where he's, Ezra Miller, is that his name? He actually surprised me. That was one of the few things that Justice League
he was having fun in the movie.
Like, he's actually got a little bit of what I expect. I think the two of them could be a lot of fun together. Zachary Levi is just, man, he's a superstar waiting to break out. I know he's already had his level of fame to an extent, but he needs to be even higher. He's excellent in that movie.
We've got a what's his name going over to do Suicide Squad.
James Gunn.
Yeah.
So DC could potentially have another hit there.
Fun.
You would think that he's.
If anybody knows how to make fun with a random group of characters,
and especially something taking a little bit dark elements, I think he can absolutely handle that.
Well, I mean, we know he can dark. We've seen horror that he does. Yeah,
it's just such a weird place to have Marvel have kind of crafted this universe to where everything is at least a B and watchable and enjoyable, even if it's not wow-worthy.
If you're
DC, where you've got this is okay. I don't know.
But how long did Marvel go through that before they didn't have that?
Well,
they had a ton of stuff for the longest time when they were trying to figure out how to even get into the world of making movies, where their shit was shit.
True. I mean, when you go back to Dolph Lundgren Punisher or stuff like that,
but Marvel, I mean, they basically just scrapped the universe to start over. And is DC going to have to do that again? Are we going to lose?
I don't think you're going to get that. I think that what they're going to do is they're going to look at Gal Gadot. Is that Gal Gadot? She's perfect as Wonder Woman. Jason Momoa, you cannot fault him. He's great in the movie, even though the movie's kind of tonally. But
he's having fun. Yeah.
He is, and Zachary Levi. yes, you keep him. Whoever Matt Reeves decides to go for Batman, I don't think you could have a better director for Batman. You really, when you finally get to see
how far in production is that? Are we? How
I
far
think
along?
they start shooting.
Script?
I think that he turned in the final shooting script, and I think they start shooting in 2 or 3 months.
Wow,
like
that's awesome.
So
Good.
we're expected to hear a Batman announcement very soon of who's cast.
Probably at San Diego Comic-Con would be the one that we.
And you've heard what the idea for it is. It's rather hushish, where it's a detective story where he bounces from rogues gallery to rogues gallery
instead of being
that's what he should be.
Yeah.
and it should be. And that's what he said. He grew up a Batman fan. He said, "Why aren't we doing something like Hush or The Long Halloween, where we're jumping from and as he pursues it?"
No fault to Ben Affleck, but Batfleck was nothing but a superhero who is going into places that he
knows
shouldn't
how
go
to punch people,
like space. Like it didn't make any yeah.
So just the other night, one of my daughter's friends,
Fighting Doomsday.
A young boy is and I keep telling him, like, you need to like this boy. But he likes Star Wars and he likes Batman, and he was saying Ben Affleck's the worst Batman ever. I said, no, actually he's not. The content he was giving was shit.
Yeah.
There's nothing about him and his portrayal that's bad. If anything, I think Val Kilmer's infinitely worse as a Batman than he ever was.
Are you not going to go George Clooney
And
with the Bat credit card?
I didn't have a problem with George
the Bat
Clooney if you
states.
do the Bill Fingerish kind of over-the-top, silly era of what was that, the 50s when they really started doing the big
with
telephones.
the big prop stuff.
And he could have embodied that. George Clooney could have really embodied that. Yeah.
But it was wrong where they tried to put it together.
Take control of your Bane that never talks in the Batman movies.
As a side, because I'm going to tie this to Batman, have you heard about the new Hulu series called Act that's Patricia Arquette playing a mother, and this is based on a true story of Munchausen by proxy syndrome, where they hurt your child to make them seem sick.
Yeah.
She put this child in a wheelchair, said she had the mind of an infant when she was really 19 and just fine, but she kept even telling the child she was sick. Eventually, the child gets a computer, finds a boy online, they fall in love. She gets the boy to kill the mother.
This is a real story.
That's a real story. They've made a Hulu show of it, and
They made a show?
And I'll tell you this, it's very well made, but it's one of the most disturbing things you've ever watched because of what Munchausen by proxy is not easy to watch a parent. When you're a parent and you love your child.
Hurting your kid?
Yes, hurting because you're so sick that you can't figure out how to...
Yeah.
And having a 16-year-old kid, there's a very weird thing about, I want more than anything to go back to the day when I could put my arms together like this and my daughter fits within my arms.
Yeah.
I want that. But you also realize I brought you here to be you.
I mean, I was talking to you about this earlier. I lost my shit this week over a duckling that was a day old. Yeah, of course you're going to want to cuddle your child that you've raised for 16 years.
But at the same time, you want them to grow. The reason I brought that up is the young woman who's playing the daughter. I forget her name. I'd have to look it up. My daughter, of course, found some really bad Netflix movie she's in. And she's like, she's shit, Dad. And I'm like, no, she's actually great. Then I find out she was the daughter in one season on Fargo.
Okay.
When they were in the snow, whichever one that was. She was the daughter there.
Yeah, with the single parent?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So you remember she was a pretty good actress. Yeah. Well, she's also the young Talia
Al Ghul
in Dark Knight Rises. Do you remember the girl that climbs out and gets that's her?
Yeah, the one that Bane was protecting.
Yes, and so at that point I had to go Abby and go, I'm sorry,
right,
you suck. Even though that's not my favorite Batman film, you suck. She's actually pretty good in it. You don't knock a Batman. Has anybody else got pop culture stuff? We really ran through let's catch up on pop culture.
No, I was just going to say, I have a 10-month-old dog that still sleeps in my arms at night.
Aww.
And those pictures...
She literally climbs onto the couch, climbs on top of me, and then falls asleep and puts her head on my shoulder like a baby.
The baby...
And naps for like the last hour watching TV.
When the baby was a month old, she was a lap dog. She is not a lap dog now.
You put a picture like that on Facebook, and I will tell you, I teared up when I saw it. I was like... That's about the damn sweetest thing I've ever seen.
She just does. She's now 10 months old. She turns a year in May, and we sit down on the couch to after dinner to watch 1 hour of TV before going to bed, and she's like, "All right, I'm climbing up. All right,
time to get warm with Daddy.
Let's lay down and snuggle." What a sweet little dog! Every night, doesn't fail.
That's where we need to end it because we went through everything, but this is what I'll say: go love your kids. Go love your dogs. Be nice to people. Quit treating people like shit. Be good people, right? Sean, we're talking to you, Sean.
Whatever. I'm going to treat people like I want to.
Richard, it's been great talking to you. All right, we'll be back on Monday with another episode of Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Everybody have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
I was about to say, are you going to say bye, everybody?
Sean
well, what the hell are you doing? At that point, I just look at you.
I'm going to go out and be nice to people.
Thank God, you're such a diva bitch. Bye, everybody.
Bye.